Hello, hello, I'm Sasha of Sasha Makes Cards, and today I'm here with Kraftin Kimmie stamps for a Throwback Thursday video. Now today I am featuring the Floral Fun Stamp Set. The stamp set features 4 main images as well as 4 sentiments. The sentiments included are, let's see here, celebrating you today, every day is a new beginning, find joy in the little things, and then the sentiment that I will be using for my card today is so grateful for you. This stamp set released along with some other stamp sets in June of last year of 2024. At that time, I was acting as a guest designer for Kraftin Kimmie stamps for this specific release, so I do have a card that I made previously for this. Although I don't have a full-length YouTube video for it, I do have an Instagram reel up on my Instagram account, and the video, that little process video, is also posted as a YouTube short on my YouTube account, so you can also just click onto my YouTube channel and watch it that way. But anyways, today for my card, I'm doing something a little different than what I normally do when it comes to stamped images. Although I've done this a few times, because I do really like doing it, I don't often do it. Typically what I do with stamp sets is I just stamp them out and color them and make some kind of card out of it, which I am still doing that today. But I decided to use all the different floral images from the stamp set, stamp them onto my A2 card base to kind of create a black and white, not repeating pattern because it doesn't repeat, but just a nice floral patterned background. I'm then going to stamp out just one of the floral images from the stamp set, color it, then put it onto the card to finish it off. So rather than coloring all of the flowers, just the one is colored, and it acts as a nice bold pop of color. Now to make the card itself, of course, I grabbed all of the stamps from the stamp set and started positioning them on my A2 card, but rather than usually what I do when I make a card or I'm stamping on a piece of cardstock, whatever, in my MISTI is I put it into the corner of the MISTI and then just use the magnet to hold it in place. However, since this is an all over pattern and the floral images are extending over the edge, I taped the A2 card base into the very center of my MISTI tool. For this, I just used painter's tape. I get my painter's tape from the dollar store. Sometimes I find it's usually low tack enough that I don't have to worry too much about it. Sometimes it does tear if you're not careful, if you rip it off, but I just don't do that. I also find because mine's from the dollar store that maybe it's not the best quality to begin with, so it's even better for crafting with paper. But any kind of craft low tack tape works for this. To arrange the flowers on the card, I kind of just arranged them as I went. You'll see that I would place it down, then I wasn't happy with it, so I'd readjust it. All I did was place the flowers on it, pick it up with the stamping tool, and then use the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink to stamp the images onto the card. Now, the thing you have to be cautious with when you're doing this kind of card is you have to make sure that each stamp is cleaned and it doesn't have any ink left on it when you take it off to and put it back on to restamp it. I just used my Lawn Fawn stamp chamois to wipe down each stamp, and then I took a piece of scrap, just regular photocopy paper, to dab off any of the extra ink. You may notice that there are some little specks of black ink on my card. It just always seems to happen when I'm stamping something directly onto a card and I don't want any ink smudges. It's just there. So I decided to use a sand eraser to try and get rid of some of it. However, lucky for me, most of the little extra black specks of ink happened to be in the area that was going to be covered up by the flower image I'm putting down and the sentiment strip. Once I was done making the pattern, I then stamped the sentiment. I'm just going to put it onto a sentiment strip that goes across the width of the card. I decided to go with the sentiment, "So grateful for you," and I also stamped the flower image that I'm going to be coloring. I cut the flower image out using a pair of spring assisted scissors and then trimmed the sentiment strip down to size. Working from my darkest color to my lightest color, I used my usual Ohuhu alcohol markers to color the flower image. For the purple, I started with V270, then V250, and then V230. For the single yellow color I used Y1, and then for the green color combination that I started with G470, G190, then G170, and then lastly G130. Another way you can do this card is to reverse the colors and the way you're coloring it. So instead of leaving the background, the nice floral pattern background, black and white, you could color all of those flowers and then leave the single stamped flower that you cut out black and white. Definitely, you could kind of reverse it. It'd be kind of fun. To finish off the card, I used some liquid adhesive to glue the sentiment strip onto the front of the card. I then lifted up the strip a little bit and then glued down the flower right underneath it. And that is the completed card project. If you're interested in buying the stamp set or just seeing some more inspiration that the other design team members have created using the Floral Fun Stamp Set, be sure to head on over to the Kraftin Kimmie Stamps website and check it out. The link for the website will be in the description below. Also in the description will be the link to the Kraftin Kimmie Stamps Crafty Friends Facebook group. Here you will find updates and all kinds of inspiration for all things Kraftin Kimmies. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.